Welcome back to the channel. In today's tutorial, we are diving deep into Apache Spark and its powerful batch processing capabilities. If you're looking to accelerate your data processing workflows, you are in the right place. First, let's quickly review what Apache Spark is. Apache Spark is an open-source unified analytics engine for large-scale data processing, with built-in modules for streaming, SQL, machine learning, and graph processing. Batch processing, as the name implies, allows you to process data in batches or chunks rather than making real-time processing decisions on a single piece of data at a time. This is particularly useful for processing large data sets that may not be practical to handle all at once. Let's get started by setting up our Apache Spark environment. You can run Spark locally or on a cluster. For this tutorial, we'll set up Spark in our local environment. Make sure you have Scala and Java JDK installed as Spark runs on both of these technologies. Verify your installations using the following commands. Once installed, you can launch the Spark shell to ensure everything is working correctly. To do so, run the following command. Let's discuss how to process data in batch using Spark. We'll be working with a CSV file as our dataset. For this example, let's say we have sales data which has the following columns: order ID, product, quantity, and price. You can find a sample sales data CSV file online, or you can use the code provided in the description below to create your own. Now that we have our dataset ready, let's move on to loading this CSV file into a data frame using Spark. Data frames are distributed collections of data organized into named columns. Next, we want to examine the data frame we just created to ensure that the data is loaded correctly. Let's display the first few rows of our data frame. Great! The data is loaded correctly. Now, let's move on to performing some transformations on our data frame. For instance, we might want to calculate the total sales amount for each product. The transformation we just performed adds a new column to our data frame, which contains the total sales amount. Now that we've processed the data, it's often necessary to save our processed results back to storage. This line of code saves our processed data frame as a CSV file. You can check your project directory to see the generated total_sales_output.csv file. Batch processing can also involve aggregations. Let's say we want to summarize our total sales per product. We can group the data by product and then calculate the sum of the total sales. Now we have the total sales per product displayed neatly. Batch processing with Spark also allows us to perform joins. If we had another data frame containing product information, we could join them to enrich our sales data. With that join, we've enriched our sales data frame with the product category information. This is a powerful feature of Spark, being able to merge multiple sources of data effortlessly. One of the biggest advantages of using Spark for batch processing is its performance optimizations with in-memory computing, parallel processing, and optimizations via its Catalyst query optimizer. Let's talk a bit about performance tuning when it comes to batch processing. An important configuration is the number of partitions in your data frame. You can increase or decrease this number to optimize performance based on your data size. You can also cache your data frame if you plan to use it multiple times for operations to speed up those queries. This is particularly useful in iterative operations. Before we wrap things up, let's take a moment to discuss best practices when working with Spark. Always try to work with the data frame API for optimization benefits, avoid shuffling wherever possible, and make sure to leverage broadcast joins for small lookup data. Now, as we approach the end of our tutorial, I want to encourage you to go ahead and download Apache Spark, practice these techniques, and start implementing batch processing in your projects. Thank you for watching this comprehensive guide on batch processing with Apache Spark. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more tutorials. Did you have any questions about today's content or suggestions for future videos? Leave a comment below.